Now it's time for Guitar of the Week.
So we have a bass. What kind of bass is it? It's a Lake Placid Blue Fender Stewham Urge bass. This is a special bass for me because I always wanted one. This is pretty much the very first bass player I've ever experienced when I got my first Stewham CD, the Urge. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. What is this? And I was just enamored with his basses. And of course, you know, as a Vi fan, as a Satriani fan, when Stewham would play with him, he would have this bass. So I always wanted one of these basses. So long story short, many years ago, I got one. So this one is a Stewham Urge 1. They eventually made a second one, and they no longer make any because he's no longer with Fender. The thing that's fun fact is, this is the very first artist signature bass with Fender ever. So the very first artist to ever get a signature bass was Stewham. Little fun fact for you. And it was this bass, which was a strange bass because it was, I think it was co-designed by Phil Kubicki. He was with Kubicki basses, I believe, before. And of course, it has this Bootsy Collins like 500 pickup thing going on. But more importantly, it's a 32-inch scale, which is what started and ignited my love for 32-inch scale basses, which is why, as you see behind me, I'm pointing at this beautiful Warwick custom shop bass that is also 32-inch scale. So I prefer 32-inch scale, which is called medium scale. So it's not short like 30, it's not regular like 34. So think of a bass, a 34-inch scale bass would be like, I don't know if I want to say it's like a 24 3/4 or it's standard. It's a standard guitar scale for bass. So what are the features? Well, interesting enough, I thought it would be a funny story because one of the features on this bass is one of the things that everybody's been complaining about for the last couple of years, which is this has a Peo Ferro fretboard, which even though Fender just very subtly, almost not even, I mean, I was like a whisper this week. I don't think anybody heard. I don't know if anyone heard, but Player Series 2 just came out with some new guitars. I think I saw like a small blurb somewhere in the dark edges of the internet mention about it. But anyways, what they mentioned was they stopped using Peo Ferro and they're using rosewood. Funny thing is that Fender used to put premium on Peo Ferro. So this is Peo Ferro fretboard like the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat was, or is, I should say. And so that was a premium feature on this bass to have Peo Ferro, or Pal Ferro if I'm saying it wrong, Pal Ferro, whatever makes you happy. This is also a 24 fret bass. So obviously the very first 24 fret bass Fender ever made. It has a maple neck with a walnut skunk stripe. It is a one-piece neck. The material on the nut is definitely like a new bone. It's a man-made material for sure. It's not bone. This instrument is 100% stock except for I put the pink strap locks. I have no idea why I did that. And yes, it purposely comes with a gold bridge and then a gold surround there, but then it comes with black tuning keys. That's what Stewham wanted. What with gold washers. So, and the tuning keys, are they Godo? They are Godo. Godo black tuning keys. I have it wound with D'Addario tape wound strings. I have a video on that if you want to see. These are nylon wrapped steel strings. Why? Well, when I play it, I'll just show you why. It's because it changes the tone of the bass and it makes it great. I have the instruction booklet. I cannot find it anywhere. I was looking for it today on what all this crap does. For those of you watching, it's like a volume, and then I have like a pan control, and then there's like a pickup on and off selector, and then there's a bass blend and a thing, and then there's a 5-way selector. This has got a ton of knobs. I literally don't use any of them. I literally turn this on. Not turn on. This is how it is set all the time. All the knobs are in the center detent positions. The volume's on 10. The pickups are just the way they are. Like I don't do anything with it. I just play it the way it is. Really cool. This is an alder body and it has a custom case that's like a 60s era case that's the gray Tolex. But yeah, the neck is on the smaller side, right? And of course, a little shorter scale, like 32-inch scale. Let me go ahead and plug it in. So essentially what these strings do is give it a warmer sound. Which is what I wanted. I don't want it for a really bright attack. I like the instrument with these strings have kind of a deader sound to it, even though I do slap with it. It came in a pink, black, Lake Placid blue, and a green, emerald green. And if you like Stewham, he does like kind of those cool little... And the main reason I got this bass was because of tapping. So I do a lot of tapping on the bass, and this was the bass that kind of I kind of saw before I saw like Stanley Clark. I saw Stu Hamm, and so I just kind of assumed tapping would be easier on a shorter scale. So I just thought it would be easier, and it was. And then over time, I switched over to the standard 34-inch scale bass. It sits in its case a lot because once I had the Warwick made to my exact, I didn't have to play somebody else's bass. I just love this bass. It's different to me than like the Jim. If you guys know, I got a Steve Vai Jim because when I was younger, that was the guitar to have for me. And then when I got older, I could afford one. And it was like, it's kind of like being old enough to buy a sports car, but nowhere to drive now, right? That's how the Jim is for me. I got nothing to do. This bass, though, is different for me because it's the bass that I wanted when I was young, and I have a total use for it, which is great. Now, I wanted to, like I said, go through the controls. The one thing I will tell you is there's a reason why I actually don't mess with the controls too much. This bass works. If you look online at these, you'll see that most people gut them, and so they're hard to find intact original like this. But also, you're almost impossible to find them still working. They just literally they don't hold up. The electronics did not hold up. So, and if I ever get to interview Stu Hamm, I'm going to ask him why did he go from the 32-inch scale back to the 34-inch scale. I would love to know that. As always, I want to thank you so much for your time. To the next time. Know your gear.